I'm Emily Ehman here for the Big Ten Network. The Big Ten men's lacrosse season is nearing the end, so we had to bring on one of the best out there, Jonathan Donville, a fifth-year midfielder at Maryland. John, your team just clinched a share of the Big Ten regular season title on Saturday with a 19-12 win over Ohio State. Your team is now 11-0 this season. What's impressed you most about your team this year?
I think just the depth. It's been cool to see how much talent we have and how hard guys work. And even though it's not always the same guy every week, guys are still showing up motivated and practicing hard every day and showing up ready on Saturdays to plays. And it's been fun to be a part of, and it's been cool to see.
Well, during that game, your team was down 10-9 halfway through the third period. Then you guys went on a 10-2 run to close it up. What was the biggest adjustment your team made offensively in the last 20 or so minutes of that game?
I don't think we really made much of an adjustment offensively. I think we just wanted to shoot a little bit better. I think maybe that was the biggest thing that changed up front. But really, I think it was Luke Weirman and the wing players in the face-off. And, I think we really did well in the middle of the field there, towards the second half of the third quarter and then the fourth quarter. And we took advantage of our opportunities and we got the ball. But those guys really made some really tough plays in the middle of the field. And I think that's what kind of swung the game for us.
It looked like a fun celebration afterwards. What was the most exciting part of that celebration on the field?
I think that's a great question. I think just being with the guys and maybe taking the picture, I guess, was pretty cool. And just seeing how excited everyone is because, we have a group of guys who they hold each other accountable and they hold themselves accountable. And, it was great to just see guys, it wasn't a perfect game by any means. And Ohio State's a great team. They pushed us in a lot of ways. But guys were just excited to win, and they knew how much work had gone into it, and guys know we still have team goals coming up that we haven't accomplished yet. So this isn't the end of the road, but guys just kind of were in the moment and excited, and certainly those moments in the locker room after the game and celebrating with your teammates who how hard they work and vice versa. That to me is what it's all about, and it was cool to see, and then kind of move on now and on to the next goal.
You mentioned this was your first year at Maryland. You transferred in from Cornell, where you spent the last 4 seasons. What was the main thing that drew you into Maryland?
I think the opportunity to win a championship this season, that was a big one. And then also journalism. I'm pursuing a master's in journalism here. So, that's not something that's offered everywhere. So kind of those two things. And Coach Tillman is a Cornell guy himself. So I felt like, there's some familiarity there. And, just the opportunity to join a group of men who had the opportunity to win and do everything I can to help.
You've talked about the drive of this team to really win and the expectations are there. What was your first impression of the team when you met everyone?
I think just how personally driven the individuals are, and guys hold themselves accountable first, and I think that leads to a great deal of success because guys are focused on doing their job and they do it really well. And everyone here is so focused on winning, and I think that I was kind of struck by that and impressed by that. And obviously that's why I came here, because I knew I wanted a chance to win, and just seeing how important it was for people here to win. That was kind of what I noticed first. And yeah.
You talked about journalism being one of those driving forces as well for why you came to Maryland. Once you're finished playing, what would be your dream job?
Growing up in Canada, big hockey fan. So doing something in the hockey media space, I think is most exciting to me, and hopefully working for the NHL one day or something like that. But I still have another semester of school and after this one. So still kind of working away at my degree and obviously just kind of focus on lacrosse season right now. But yeah, that would be the goal for after school.
Growing up, who is your favorite hockey team?
I'm a Calgary Flames fan.
Okay.
My dad grew up in Calgary. I was in Calgary when I was a little kid, and just kind of followed them ever since.
I was just at a Blackhawks game this week where you guys kind of took advantage of us. So that one was tough to watch.
Yeah, no, it's been a fun season. I haven't got to watch as much since we've been playing, obviously, but it's been a cool season to be a Flames fan.
Well, you were also the number 1 pick in the 2021 National Lacrosse League entry draft last August. Did that change your feelings at all headed into your final collegiate season?
I'm not sure it changed my feelings, really. I think the one thing that I was struck with was, the sense of gratitude I had when I got drafted for just kind of it was a really interesting moment to kind of look back and think about all the people that kind of helped me get there, and my parents, and this kind of experience I've had as a kid. And it was kind of this end of this chapter of kind of my minor lacrosse career. And I think it just kind of made me realize like how grateful I am to have this opportunity to play at Maryland, that, I have this, opportunity next year to play NLL, but, I'm coming back for a reason, and I'm coming back, to win a national championship or to win a championship. And also because I love to play. And it was kind of just made that all real for me, and thought of a lot of people. And it was cool to share that experience with a lot of family and friends, and just made me kind of really focused on this Maryland season. And, I got one year left, and I want to, have goals that, team goals that we want to accomplish, and just want to do everything I can to help this team accomplish those goals.
You talked about gratitude. Who has been the most impactful person on your lacrosse career?
Yeah, I think my whole family, but my brother and my dad, it's been a kind of a bond we shared. And my dad got us into the game. He played as a kid. He got us into the game at a young age, and coached us a lot growing up. And then my brother is 5 years older than me. He played at Cornell before I did. He's played for Team Canada multiple times, representing our country. So those two would be, the two that kind of had their hands on my lacrosse experience the most. And then, my mom and my sister too. They've been at just as many games and played just as important a role. And, I wouldn't be here without them.
You mentioned your dad growing up. What was that dynamic with him kind of teaching you the game?
Yeah, my dad's a very analytical guy, and, he had a good sense of what he knew and what he didn't know. And, in Canada, we played the box game growing up. So he had only played the box game. And I remember he used to buy like VHS tapes at the time. And I think it was like, maybe there were DVDs. There's definitely a couple of VHS when I was really young of the field game, trying to teach himself the field game so that he could teach it to us. And then he had a really good sense of when we got to, kind of like high school age, that, he had a good sense of that we needed to learn from somebody else. And he kind of passed the torch. And I played for some other coaches who, really, really impacted my life and my career. So it was awesome. My dad, more than anything, he taught me when I was a little kid, just try to play unselfishly and try to play hard. Loose balls and assists were all his thing when I was a little kid. And, I still think about those lessons today. And I don't think I know I wouldn't be here without his lessons.
Switching gears, lacrosse, it's a pretty physical sport. I imagine there's a good amount of trash talking going on the field. What's the funniest thing someone has said to you or you've heard out there?
I haven't, I gotta think about that. I haven't really, as a midfielder, I'm usually kind of running out on and off the field. I don't really hear as much. Yeah, I don't know if I have a good answer for that. I haven't really heard anything good this year.
Okay, who talks the most trash during practice on your team?
Probably Roman Puglisi.
What's a common thing that he says?
He's like one of the bigger, stronger guys on the team. He just likes to call people weak. Yeah. She just reminds them to get back in the weight room.
All right, kind of a little rapid fire. What's the most common stereotype of lacrosse players that you hear?
Probably the long hair, the flow, as they say.
All right, is lacrosse better in Canada or the US?
Canada.
All right, to finish up everything here, this Saturday, your team finishes off the regular season with a big one in what's known as lacrosse's greatest rivalry between Maryland and Johns Hopkins. What are you looking forward to most about taking part in this game for your first time?
I think just the atmosphere, and to say that, I got to play in the rivalry, and it's cool to be a part of. I've obviously never felt what that feels like, but I'm excited. It should be a great crowd, and Homewood Field is one of the great, the great cathedrals of our sport. So I'm just excited. It's going to be a great atmosphere under the lights against a really good Hopkins team who's playing really well right now. And, that's all you can ask for. Those are the games you can come to Maryland to play. And those are the games, guys at Hopkins, those are the games that they go to Hopkins to play. So it should be two great teams, and it's just going to be a fun battle.
Battle for that title. All right, John, thank you so much. It's been exciting to watch you this season, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.